Alright, welcome back. My name is Pasco, and today we're going to discuss an important topic, traveling in the United States with a firearm. During 2024, the Transportation Security Administration intercepted a total of 6,678 firearms at airport security checkpoints. This is a bad look for firearm owners, but even worse, it makes the TSA look good. Furthermore, it gives the anti-Second Amendment crowd another excuse to try to push firearm regulation. Today I want to outline accurate information from the TSA as well as personal experience so we can reduce this number and hopefully reduce the size of the bloated government organization that is the Transportation Security Administration. First and foremost, we want to ensure that we're legally allowed to carry a firearm. I strongly advocate getting a FOID card as well as a concealed carry permit, as the training you'll receive in the concealed carry class is invaluable and could even save your life. When traveling with a firearm, it's important to know the TSA regulations as well as the rules for the airline for which we're flying. Firearm laws also vary from state to state, so knowing the laws of the state that we're traveling to is also imperative to ensuring that we're complying with local law. For instance, a carry permit in Alabama will not be recognized as a carry permit in Illinois. When traveling with a firearm, we take all precautions to ensure that it's being transported safely. The TSA requires the following. The firearm is in a hard-sided container and completely inaccessible. The firearm must be in checked baggage, not in a carry-on. Firearm parts, including magazines, bolts, and firing pins, are prohibited in carry-on baggage. This point specifically is where the TSA gets their 6,678 number. The hard-sided container must have TSA-approved locks. Rifle cases must have locks at both ends. Only the passenger should retain the key or combination to the lock unless TSA personnel request the key to open the firearm container to ensure compliance with TSA regulations. The firearm must be unloaded. As defined by 49 CFR 1540.5, a loaded firearm has a live round of ammunition or any component thereof in the chamber or cylinder or in a magazine inserted in the firearm. For civil enforcement purposes, TSA also considers a firearm to be loaded when both the firearm and ammunition are accessible to the passenger. The TSA also has regulations on transporting ammunition. The TSA website has an entire section dedicated to explaining what essentially boils down to buy a case specifically for transporting ammunition or just use the factory box. Just like the firearm itself, ammunition is prohibited from carry-on baggage. We only transport our ammunition in checked baggage. The amount of ammunition you can transport varies from airline to airline. Now that we have our firearms ready to travel, let's talk about airport protocol. Civilians flying with firearms must check them with the agent as well as declare them to the airline. This will involve going to the customer service desk rather than the normal bag drop.
Hi, I'm checking a firearm.
The agent will present a firearm declaration which must be signed and then placed into the checked bag. We do not check our bags online and we do not go to the normal bag drop when we get to the airport. In my experience at international airports, after declaring a firearm, the agent will bring me to the TSA for baggage screening. Once the bag is cleared, I'm free to go to my normal security checkpoint and then off to my flight.
Thanks, boss.
There is no substitution for preparation. We must know the TSA guidelines as well as the airline rules in order to stay protected during our travels. Let the TSA get back to the important work of stealing people's toothpaste. Share this video with your friends and together we can reduce the size of the bloated TSA.